Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Safe Room. I'm your host, President Sean Williams. It's late at night, but listen, we're still on the grind. We're still gonna be pumping out episodes and everything. So listen, stop sleeping on your boy. Stop sleeping on your boy. Anyway, I got an amazing guest. This person I've connected with her on a couple occasions. It's probably been close to like maybe a month since I've like met this person as well. So like there's that relationship, there's that connection right there. This person is amazing. She's a fitness slash mindset slash energy coach. Like she's got all the titles in the name. You should know, guys. And like honestly, she has been helping me just help like get that balance between my work and my fitness. Cause like guys, I care about my fitness, but sometimes it gets in the way of my work. But this person right here, she has helped me so much. She is like one of the strong head anchors for intuition. uh you could say a group. I call it a movement. It's honestly a movement. It's making moves all over the place. We got Nicole Hosang. Nicole, how are you today?
Yes, thank you for the amazing introduction. I'm feeling alive right now. I'm feeling really alive. Thank you so much. Yeah, I appreciate your kind words. It's such an honor to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yes, absolutely. And can we just also mention like the gear, like the hat, like the drip. The drip is on point.
Thank you, thank you. I'm trying to step into my higher self right now. The old me was just trying to, just keep it simple, keep it basic, and I feel like I'm at a point in my life where I just discovered that it's okay. It's okay to be loud. It's okay to be present. It's okay to show up. And I just trying to, own my authenticity now. I'm not scared anymore. I could just be completely who I am, and today this is what it is today, and I appreciate that you recognize that. Thank you for recognizing. Thank you for noticing.
Absolutely, of course, of course. Listen, like I just took a shower, so all I have is like this little vest right on here, and plus I did exercise, so it's just like, guys, this listen. I'm usually a person that dresses up like very good for these episodes, but tonight it's just I don't know. It's one of those like I'm just whatever it is, I'm rocking with it, you know.
You're fresh. You're fresh. You're fresh. It's good. It's good.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. So, guys, today we have a great episode, Nicole. We're going to talk about intuition, everything that you do, all your work, your experience, and the stuff that you do as well. It should be fun. It should be interesting. And to anyone who's looking for like motivation, whether it's like just having the confidence to do the work you want to do, or maybe it's with fitness as well. Like this conversation is for you guys. And I don't know how long we're gonna be. Like usually, sometimes it will be 45 minutes. Other times it's an hour, which is probably the new norm at this point. Like we go overtime, so this should be fun. But all I know is that this is gonna be a great episode. So Nicole, are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Okay, cool, cool, cool. First, I want to start off with how we met because how we met was very interesting. So, guys, I remember I was just doing my thing, just on my Instagram, just chilling, and then I got a message from the Quiet Council. And the funniest thing was, it wasn't even the first time they messaged me. They messaged me before about another person who I actually did have on my podcast, Eris. So shout out to him. He has the Who and How Club podcast. Um, so they tell me about, hey, like we want you to have like a guest on your podcast. I'm like, okay, cool. Who's it this time? And they said, her name is Nicole Hosang. I had to pause because I couldn't believe the name that they dropped. Because I'm like, no, Nicole Hosang. Because like I was following you before, and I'm just like, I literally had to pause. Like, yo, wait a minute. Yo, God works in mysterious ways. Like, this is crazy. Like, so crazy. So I remember, like, yeah, I was like, yeah, I didn't even hesitate. I'm like, yes, yes, 1,000 times yes. And she reached out to me, and then we just connected. And this wasn't something where, okay, I said yes, she said yes, and we went ghost up to this point. Like we have been connecting back and forth ever since. So it's just been like going into this episode. It's like, yo, we're already there. It's like yin and yang in a way. So yeah, for sure.
That's right.
Uh,
That's right. That's accurate.
yeah, absolutely. But Nicole, just tell me more and like, well, actually, not tell me more. Tell everyone. I know what you do, but I feel like there's probably still stuff I might not know. So like, I could be surprised. But tell everyone here just exactly what you do, because it's not as simple as like, oh, I do fitness and this and that. It's more. I'm pretty sure you can give a proper explanation to the work that you do.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Thank you. And I didn't know all the details of the backstory of how we came to connect. So thank you for sharing that because I'm honored and I appreciate that feedback. That I'm flattered that that was your reaction, and it's 1,000 times. You said 1,000 times. That stood out to me. I'm like, whoa! So that's awesome. I'm really
Of
glad your
course.
energy is my type of vibe. So I'm glad it worked out the way it did. And yeah, I coined myself the energy coach because for many years of my life, majority of my life, I've been complimented for my energy. A lot of people have always referenced whether my energy is high, like energy output, and even like on an emotional or a connection level, people would say like, I really like your energy, you know. And so I feel like the word energy is all encompassing. It has such a vast reach when it comes to meaning. And so kind of everything is energy when you think about it. And so I call myself
Hmm.
the energy coach because I started in the physical fitness space, but the language and the dialogue that was exchanged in any of those environments was always mindset. It was mental fitness, always, consistently. I come from a family with four kids. I'm the eldest of four. I got three younger brothers. And I feel like in terms of like the masculinity and like that balance. I feel like I'm the fourth brother. I'm just saying. I told my mom, she's like, "No, you're my daughter." I'm like, "Mom, come on." So I feel like I vibe with that balance of like masculine, feminine energy. Like I'm on that full awareness on both ends of the spectrum, which I love. It's a superpower. And so what I've found is I'm able to really connect with my audience, whether it's my clientele or the people in my circle, the people in my space. I can always really feel which vantage they're coming from because I've lived it. I've lived on both sides, and whether it's getting awareness of our intention on a physical level or our intention on a mental level, I've always been able to speak into it, and my clientele have explained to me that that's where I meet them. So that's the only reason I know because they've shared that with me. And so
Right.
I've decided to be a mindset focused coach ever since the gym closed. So the gyms are closed, and Nicole said, how can I share my energy? How can I continue to support people with this holistic fitness approach? And so I decided to just keep talking. I kept talking. And so now I help entrepreneurs, as I found they were majority of my audience. My clients seem to always have their own business that they were running. And so I just identified the pattern, really. That's what that was. I was like, oh, you know what? Why don't I just speak into that? Because I'm already recognizing that's true. So now I niched myself as a coach for entrepreneurs who are looking to level up in their energetic output, their energetic organization. And it ends up being aggressively mental fitness. And because everything's connected, it's mind, body, spirit. And that's where I'm at. I'm an energy coach, mind, body, spirit, and it feels good to be here. I love being able to describe it like that. Thank you, Sean. I appreciate that.
No, no, for sure, for sure. And like, I feel like the energy coach, like the title fits you right there. Like the energy you're giving me right now, obviously, it's like it's over the roof. And I definitely feel it's important for anyone who's an entrepreneur or someone who wants to, start their own business or do whatever they want to do, to have that full confidence into the work. Always making sure that they're not always down or like depressed or like maybe I can't do this because it's just too much. And like again, sometimes it can do that to you, but it's always trying to find ways to like help others find that different route, how they can just build themselves up, build the courage so that way they can get to where they need to be. And like that's something that I've tried to do. And through our conversations, you've kind of helped me because like my biggest issue was that I was very aware of my stuff, but really it was more of like the physical fitness, for me. Because again,
Mm,
I was not really getting enough time to like, do like any exercising. And I wasn't really doing it for like, hey, look at me, I'm super muscular. Like, look at my muscles. Like, no, it was more of just like, it got me in the right space. Like, sometimes, like, having an exercise, it just kept my day going. I had the energy left. Because sometimes, if I'm super tired, and I have no more energy left, that workout is what kind of lifts my spirit again. But because I was so busy with school at the time, I couldn't do none of that. So it was like days I was like super stressed, super tired. And now that like, through our talks and everything, we have our scheduled calls. Like I'm waking up
yep.
every day in the morning. And it's just like it doesn't feel like there's a lot of weight on my shoulder. I remember before, like before I was done school, I used to wake up and I'm like rolling around in bed like, yo, like 10 more minutes. I can't. Now it's just like probably just a little bit of like wake my eyes up and I'm like, okay, let's go. And it's just like you feel it. And like I feel it in my exercise too. It's just like every time I get that workout in, I feel so rejuvenated. I'm just like, shoot, like, damn, I really got no more time to like do like maybe in the sense of like go to sleep. Like I got so much energy, I can't go to sleep anymore. It's just like dang. So I really like the work that you're doing. Again, just how you're motivating everyone to find like their best authentic self from within. Like you guys can do it.
Mm.
You can push the boundaries. You don't have to be so restricted within a space where it's like you can only do this and so much, but you can do more and like break the limits, break the barriers. So I find that so amazing.
Yes, I love the words that you use to describe the feeling, the sensation. I feel like that's the secret is to just bottle that up and just like here, just have this every single day, just to live in that hype. So yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad that you're feeling that kind of result. I'm glad that you're having that experience. That's the most rewarding part about this whole experience that I'm on is that in addition to being in that energetic space myself, that I could share with other people and just live in that space with a community of people. And yeah, it's the highest honor. So yeah, thank you so much. Like you just spoke to my soul just now.
Yes, for sure, for sure, for sure. So I definitely want to know like with all the work that you're doing, like what is like the biggest takeaway? Like what is something where it's like, you know what, after doing all this for a while, because you've been doing this for like over 15 years and it's just like,
Yeah.
dang, I've connected with so much people. I've just been able to just hear all their stories, their experience, and like what is to you, and like again, it might be hard to pick one takeaway, but what is, I guess, what is a takeaway that you find like very consistent every time you connect with someone and like you hear their journey and then hopefully there's progress at the end. Like what is something consistent that you take away from that?
That's a good question. I'm glad you asked because it forced me to try to reflect on a really important detail and something that I think everyone can relate to, whether they're currently participating in the program or if they're thinking about it or they haven't even heard about it yet. And, this is something that's going to come into their space later on down the road. I think the most consistent detail surrounding what you feel and what you learn is that you can always be a better version of yourself. And
Mm-hmm.
I think that concept is mind blowing because there's so many times in the journey that you're feeling stuck potentially, or you do level up. Let's say you level up and you're like, wow, this is exhilarating. I can't believe I'm here. I never would have dreamed this was possible. Just in that moment, recognizing like, this isn't even it. Like, this is scratching the surface. Like, you think you're not there yet. This is just like, I'm glad you like it
Right.
because that's just the next tier. And that gets me so excited about life. And I think that's one of the reasons why I'm able to get up, like you said, and just be ready to go because I'm just like, this isn't even it. Like, if you could just take a moment and let that sink in. Every time something beautiful happens, every time something glorious happens, all the positive, progress that we make or the box we check on the list, the success, the milestones. I like to call them the milestones because I want to celebrate the milestones. And each time you level up and you're just like, wow, I feel like I made it. And then you just stop and think for a minute and you're like, this isn't even it,
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
You haven't even scratched
oh,
the
like,
surface.
yeah. And that's incredible. That's so inspiring. And so if I could just like share that concept, that's the concept right there. It's about constantly seeking the higher version of yourself. And if you can acknowledge that wherever you're at, you can do so much more. Like you're meant for greatness. That's it right there. That's what people need to hear. That's the consistent trend. That's the inspiring piece. That's the part that will wake you up out of your deep dark sleep and and get you living a life that you always dreamed of, that you always imagined of, and maybe you just didn't think it was possible. Yeah.
Yeah, for
Good
sure.
question. I like this.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And like I definitely feel like once you just keep pushing and pushing that the reward at the end, it's just such a satisfaction because I feel like a lot of people assume that something is gonna come like immediately and they get really upset because it's like, oh wow, like I've been doing this for a while and it's just nothing's happening, there's no progress, and it's just like, hey man, maybe look at it this way. Maybe you haven't got to your biggest goal yet, but there's probably some small goals that you can achieve along the way. And that still gives you a little bit motivation where it's like, okay, if I'm knocking down these small like bricks, when I once I get to like the biggest boulder, I'm gonna knock that down completely, and like it's gonna feel so great. So like I definitely feel you in like finding that authentic self about you, because me, I'm never a person that tries to like full on I would say copy someone. Like I might get like
Hmm.
inspiration and be like, okay, cool, like I really take in what this person's doing or what they're saying, but I'm not like I'm trying to be this person 2.0. It's like, no, like you can only be the one and only, your only self, and you should be proud of it. And obviously, we
Exactly.
take for granted where we see online, where we see on the media. If we want to keep this still within the fitness realm, we may just go out to the gym and just like, damn, like this person shredded, or damn, this person seems like they're on top of their game. Or better yet, you might watch like fitness people online on social media. And you're just like, how are they able to like do all of this? And like myself, I can't even do like a push up, or like I can't even find 5 minutes to do this. And it's just like, well, again, the problem is you're putting yourself in a space where like you're trying to compare yourself to someone where like they're trying to be their own better self. Well, you should focus on being your better self as well, because that's the best feeling. That's the best thing that you can do for yourself. Try to like just, okay, what can I work on and how can I keep making sure that I'm consistent and I'm getting everything done. I'm knocking all these objectives. So I definitely hear you in the sense of like just be authentic, be yourself.
Yes, yes. And go towards what brings you joy too. That's one thing I learned is that if you're ever feeling like you're not sure, like there's uncertainty, it's like think about that thing that really does ignite your spirit and that brings you joy. Likely the case is the further you go in that direction, the more you're tapping into your authentic self, but also your sole purpose, like your mission work, which if you're in your mission work, you already know that keeps you lively all the time. Like there's never a dull moment when you're in your mission work. So yeah, always like just keep striving. Authenticity means what brings you joy, and not like don't let anybody shake you,
Right.
like stay focused. You know what brings you joy, right?
Right, right, for sure, for sure. So, I want to talk about intuition because this was something that like you introduced me to, and I really love the environment. And I mentioned in the intro, it's not even like a group. I feel it's like a movement. It's like it's revolutionary in a way because it's like there's so much people that come in, and whether it's like your early meetings in the morning, I know like you be sending me those stuff. Like maybe it's just me, and maybe I have to do more to get up. But like I think I'm a person that like I pride about my sleep. Even if I go to bed early, it's just like nah, like I need proper sleep because like I know my time. Like I spent 4 years at university not sleeping, so like I'm gonna get those years back. Okay, so but yeah, I know it's true. But intuition, man, like what was the moment or like where you just started it and like why was it so important for you to like start intuition? Why did you feel like at the time being like this is something that needs to be amplified to a bigger platform? It shouldn't just be like, okay, I'm just doing this because you know what, I got nothing else to do. Because I know you mentioned like things really kicked off for you when like the gyms closed, and I feel like that's where a lot of people kind of got that, oh, I'm gonna switch online because I got no gym anymore to go in person. And it's just like that's cool, but I feel like for you, it wasn't something that's just like, okay, this is just gonna be a trend, and then once everything's like back open, okay, just shut everything down. Like this was, I'm feeling the vibe was like, you know what, maybe this was just how it was meant to be. So like, I definitely want to hear like, why was it important for you to start something like intuition?
Yeah, that's I love it. I love that you're feeling that vibe. I believe in my heart that this is how it was meant to be. I think there were a lot of components, there's a lot of factors that came to play. First off, in 2020, March 2020, I was pregnant with my second son, and he's now 15 months, June 1st, and I didn't even know. I didn't even know I was pregnant with my second son until like May. So
Wow.
it's crazy, yeah. So basically, the gym's closed in March. I had existing clients whose needs I wanted to meet. I wanted to bridge that gap for them because I didn't want to just leave them hanging. I felt like it was my responsibility to, fulfill the terms of the agreement in some way, shape, or form, regardless of external circumstances. I had a duty as their coach to say, how can I best support you, you know?
Right.
And I tried everything. I was trying to go to condos to try to train in the gyms, but then I'd show up in the morning and the condo gym was locked up, and the client was like, oh shoot, I didn't even know. And that was a surprise. And then I was like, let's just do it in the park. And then I had one. It was a group dynamic, and I went to the park, and it was raining that day, and was like, it was a mess, and it was
Oh.
not gonna happen.
Mm.
And these are like 7 a.m. Training sessions, so like it's like dark, and it was raining, it was muddy, and I was like, oh, this isn't gonna work. So there was a window there where I was, lost and confused, and just trying to do my best. I was doing the most, and like just learning, just like hit and miss. And so I tried again. I kept trying again, and finally I was like, guys, are you open to like a WhatsApp video workout?
Mm.
And at this point in the game, they've been working out with me for so long that I could just speak into the movement and the technique because I've refined their movement to such a detailed degree that if I say something, the cues would hit and they would just be like, oh, I know what I'm doing. My posture is in check. My chin's, in the right direction. My gaze is focused. So it was a beautiful first session on WhatsApp. Everyone loved it. And it was because of that, I said, hey, are you open to doing this again? And they were all for it. And we kept going. And I thought, this is beautiful because here I am about to be a mom of two, and I'm still able to manage a business, single-handedly. There's no staff members right now. I'm, a one-woman show. And so I thought, what a blessing, right? And the clients were like, they loved it. I was helping them. They were helping me. It was such a beautiful harmony and just mutual love. And then it just kept going. It kept growing. I was starting to work with people who didn't even live in Canada. So
Mm.
I was shocked because that's crazy reach. I
We're
was like,
branching out.
right? Like this level up. I did not expect it, but I was like, yes, absolutely. Join the team. Here we go. So you got WhatsApp, and then I considered like, okay, maybe I need to start playing around with the US dollar here, maybe a little bit, like just try to look at my options if I'm going to really, play into this and lean into it. And intuition didn't start until about summertime, like August. I want to say late July, early August of 2021. And that was when I decided I needed help getting more organized because the business was growing and I felt like I was a bit stagnant. I was like, I need to be doing more. Do I need to hire staff members? Do I need to get like more tech tools, tech awareness so that I can get more organized? And I asked one of my clients, she's a project manager. I said to her, you're this is what you do for a living. Like maybe I need your help. Can I hire you? And she referred me out to somebody that she thought would be a better fit for me. And I didn't know who this person was. And she goes by Helen Marie Fox. And I basically, within that month, I reached out to Helen Marie Fox and I joined her business development program. Had not heard of her before that moment, and and Helen Marie Fox supported me with packaging what I do, what I've been doing for so many years of my life, naturally, authentically. She helped me just put it all together beautifully, neatly wrapped. And she said, what do you want to call it, Nicole? She goes, what do you want to call it? Give it a name. And I said, intuition, of course, because this is it's like this unspoken calling. And I felt like it was bigger than me. I felt like I was being asked to organize a group of people who have similar skill sets that I have
Right.
and support them with just going to the next level consistently. And so long as I was constantly seeking personal growth, which I am, and you can see it in my training, in my physical training, but it's a mental thing, it's a spiritual thing, it's a pursuit of improvement and I'm results driven. So like I'm constantly getting that gratification and then saying, all right, what's next? And because of that, I can happily support anyone who's at any level of the journey that I previously was at. I can confidently support them. And so it really did change how I was looking at my business. So intuition is this beautiful way to describe what I've been working towards my entire life, and just being able to present it to people in a way that they can digest all of that information, you know what I mean, in
Yeah.
the span of a few minutes. That's what that is. That intuition is a program designed to support you leveling up mind, body, spirit, no matter what stage of your journey you're at, so long as you're seeking personal growth, that's what this program is designed to support you with. And so it came about in the oddest of ways, but it started with the gyms shutting down, so that I could recognize that this gift of supporting people in their journey of growth and just personal improvement was bigger than the gym. And I was not going to recognize that. They knew. I bet you, if I talked to all of my clients, they understood the value of the dialogue that was being had in those gym sessions. I had no idea. I just thought they were, committed to the exercise component. But as soon as we eliminated that, everyone was still bright and early, rise and shine, 7 a.m.
Mm,
Log into Zoom. Everybody was there, and it taught me so much about what is possible from both a coaching and a client perspective. So yeah, that's, I mean, the long version of what intuition is. That's how it got started. Thank you to the universe. Thank you, God, for supporting me with this realization. I recognize that it was a bit of an inconvenience for many people, and the learning curve was not smooth, but the learning was definitely there, and I'm grateful
right,
for the learning.
right. And I don't think anyone expects like if you're starting something like that, the learning curve to be like smooth sailing. Like you're gonna hit a bump. But
Right.
I think what really stood out to me is that again, this was something that again you said it didn't really start like off the jump. It took like maybe like a couple of months, maybe close to a year for it to like okay, this is intuition and this is how it starts. And I feel like that's how it be sometimes. If you have an idea, you might have to go through some trial runs and everything. So whether it's like okay, I'll do like a small session here, and if that works out, okay, I can move on to the next phase, and then maybe I can like start connecting with more clients. I can have a bit more of a structure to it. That's cool. And it's like, okay, so now there's a niche. Like, how do I expand a bit more? And that's where it's like, okay, intuition. Maybe I get a team and everything. Like, I feel it. And, like, I've kind of explained the story a bunch of times about how the safe workout started. So I'm not even going to, like, explain it too much because I feel like my audience is going to get annoyed at this point. But basically, again, when I started this, it was out of the blue. It was when the pandemic kicked in, and I was just bored. I thought, okay, this is probably gonna be for 3 weeks, and now look at me, I'm into year three, and I feel like I'm at that point where I'm like, okay, I feel like I have a niche, but I need to expand. So I'm like, do I need to get a team? And like, I think it's just me knowing about. Well, I know if I get this like team together, like they got to be like committed and hands down in, because I'm like, I don't want someone that's like oh yeah, sure, cool, I'll be down with you, but then like the energy's not there, and like I don't even want to like say it's like call out anyone like oh I don't want none of my friends or anything like that, but like there's also people I know just like listen, if I need you, I need you. That means like anytime, like because one thing I want to do is like probably video editing. That's something that I want to improve on. I can learn that skill for myself, but I'm hoping to get someone to do that for me. And like, look, that means listen, anytime I record and I send you the video, I need you to get it done between this time and that. Like, can you do that? Like, I'm not asking for anything crazy, but just make it a little bit more professional, add a little bit more style to it. And I think I'm aware of that, but I probably want to start small. Like, maybe I get part of like a management agency. Like, maybe they can help me out. Give me like an opening door to start and everything. I feel like that would be great. But for intuition, I definitely feel how at first it's just like dang, are people even gonna do this? Like, are people gonna wake up 7 a.m. every day to do this? Because like, I wouldn't blame them if they don't. Because it's like, listen, I got sleep, I got other things to do. You don't have to bother me. But it's great to know that the idea, the vision that you had, it was like put in out, by God's grace, and he just like it was able to just manifest into something great. So definitely for sure. And like this kind of transition to my next question because I know you mentioned how you were like while this was happening, like you were pregnant and having your second son. So like being a mother too, like how was it like balancing everything when it came to like your work, but also being a mother as well? Because Lord knows I can only imagine how. Well, I can't imagine, but I can only like fathom. Like, damn, like I don't like you got to be like a superwoman to do all of that stuff. So like that, I definitely would like to hear more about that.
Absolutely. I think that I accept the compliment because wow, I thought for so much of the journey feels like it's the natural, appropriate thing to do. And the more I encountered other mothers, women going through similar challenges, I recognized that potentially I'm doing things slightly differently, or my perspective of what I'm going through is a little bit different. It's more positive, or it seems more natural for me. It feels like it's a natural integration into my structures. And so I think it's not been easy. I'd be lying if I said it was easy, but because of my work ethic and because of my commitment to self, because of what I do when I hold the priority of um, whatever feeds my fire, whatever fuels my fire, I put that at such a high priority. For me, it's movement, right? We already know. So I need to get that movement in. It's de-stressing. It connects me to spirit. I can hear what my universal instructions are. Nicole, you need to do this. Nicole, you need to do that. I can hear that voice clearly when I've had my movement and I'm at peace inside, right? Some people need to go through like a meditation process. I believe once I've had my movement, everything just falls into place. It's just like a perfect settling of. I'm thinking of what is that game Connect Four? Is
Yes.
is that weird? I get images, I take pictures. So like I'm just seeing like ching
Yeah,
ching
that
ching,
is
and it
Connect
just feels
Four for
like
sure.
that's what I'm thinking right now. So I didn't even play that game too much, but the concept of just having the pieces just fall perfectly where they belong. It's like the space was designed for it. And when you have a schedule that's organized, I've always put fitness at the top of it. It just makes me a happy person, and it brings me into my home in a positive state. And no matter what I'm going through, I can say, you know what, I got my movement in. I heard the message of my intention for the day, and now I can be focused on family, being a wife. I'm still nursing my youngest. Between the diaper changes and the nap times, and going to the park, and now we got school starting, potential extracurricular activities, all this stuff. It feels like a whirlwind. But when I wake up in the morning and I get my movement in, I feel like I can have time for prayer. I feel like I have time to brush my teeth. I feel like I have time, like if I want to style my hair funky, or if I want to put on some lip gloss, or like do my whole face. I have that window of time while everybody's still sleeping is my own. And I'm telling you right now, as a mother, nothing is your own. Nothing. Absolutely nothing is. You can't even go to the bathroom. You can't go to the toilet by yourself no more.
Mm.
So it just is such a beautiful gift. And again, recognizing the blessing in that, like I recognize I have to get up early to have that space, but it's so worth it when I can say I got something for myself. And so many people don't, they can't say that. So I believe it's not been easy, the juggle of being a new mom, two boys, 2 years apart, and running my own business without any staff members. That's a choice, right? That's a choice. I'm not obliged to be living like this, but I chose this path. And what makes it possible for me is managing that time for self and whatever it is that we hold dear, that one thing that can inject life into us or bring our energy back to where it needs to be. For me, it's movement, and it's connecting with my spirit, and just hearing the voice of the universe speak, like without having any distractions. That space, I protect that space. I protect it, and that's the game changer for me.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I can definitely testify on the whole waking up early because sometimes I'm waking up, I'm seeing your stories like 3 a.m. in the morning. I'm like, bro, that was the time I was going to sleep at university. What the heck? I feel like some points, like, like, yeah, you tell yourself, listen, if I wake up early and I get what I need to do, my movement in, like, you just feel good. And then, like, that's me. Like, when I do my movement, my exercise, it's not to say that I'm again trying to show off. It just helps me get in the right headspace. Like, literally, like, sometimes for some people they're different. When they exercise, the first thing they're ready to do is to take a nap. It's like, oh shoot, I'm tired, bro. That was exhausting. Some people, I'm ready to eat. It's like, because I'm hungry. I burned all those calories. Me, I'm like, okay, let's go. I'm about to do this, and that. It's just like some people think like, well, why is that the case? Well, some people are different. Some people are different. But I do believe having that movement in your life is really good because it takes the time where you get to just focus on you and not think about anything else. Like, seriously, like for the last week, I've been doing like a lot of movement, and when I'm doing my movement, I'm not thinking about oh shoot, I need to make a post. Oh man, I gotta do work or this and that. Like that is out of my head, like completely, and like until like I'm completely done, and I'm not rushing into it. I'm not trying to like, okay, I need to do this for a specific amount of time. And I know some people do, and maybe that's how they work, and that's cool to have different styles. But I think I'm a person that's like, I'm just gonna keep doing it until like I'm satisfied. Like that's just how like I operate. And some people operate different. But I definitely feel you. And again, the whole mother, business thing, that's just I feel like we gotta shout out all the people who are like all the shout out the women who are doing that because that is not easy. I know like, we like to say like, oh well, I bet if like, if you just balance your time better. Like, listen, there is no balance. Okay. Sometimes it's like there's no balance. You just gotta go with it. So you gotta give the respect. You gotta give respect to you for sure. I've definitely seen everything that you're doing and like just put it in all the work. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful sight to see.
Thank you. Thank you. That's, you're making my heart so full. I appreciate so much as well all the parents that I've been honored to be around for all the years that I was not a parent and I had no idea. I had no clue. And potentially, I didn't have the compassion, my own parents. I'm like, oh, wow, you did a good job. And I'm just kind of grateful. I only have two. And I believe because there are people who I'm surrounded by who have bigger families and different situations, even whether or not they have two kids or less. But like the concept is when life throws the little challenges at you from all different directions, um, just kudos to everyone doing the best that they possibly can. And like you said, you just got to go. If there's no balance, like if my son wakes up in the middle of the night and I still got a client the next day, that's it. We're rolling. It's not. There's no time to complain and like woe is me. We just got to pick up and go and just make sure that we're putting our best foot forward and hopefully the next day doesn't go exactly like that. Maybe it's a different order because maybe I just want to get that couple extra minutes of downtime. But like that's what it is. It's just about staying positive and hopefully the next day is a new start. It's a fresh start. Each day is just a fresh start to try it again and be better. And so yeah, power to the parents and it's an honor to be a part of that group.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. Sorry, I had my head down. Someone was texting me.
No,
So
it's all good.
I
All
trust. I
good.
was not ignoring you. I was hearing everything that you were saying. So
It's
we're
all
all good. We're all good.
good.
So yeah, you have definitely done a lot. And one thing I found interesting as well through our talks is that you kind of expressed your interest in podcasting, which I found like okay,
Mhm.
like this is really dope because it's like okay, first she's got a business, then she's a mother, now she wants to be a podcaster. It's just like dang, like listen, bro, like I sometimes I'm thinking to myself like, can I even manage the stuff that I'm doing? Because like I have like two podcasts that I manage. One is going well. The other, I wouldn't say it's managed so well, but it's just like it's sports. I mean, how much can you talk about sports until someone gets like, okay, we get it, So like you gotta come up with different ideas, and like that's what we're trying to figure out. But you like, I feel like you're balancing everything. So like when you told me about podcasting, I'm like, okay, like this is interesting. So like, where did that intrigue come from to just be like, you know what, like I want to do this as well because I feel like this is something I can be good at with the right improvements. So like I'm definitely curious about the narrative behind that.
I'm glad you asked because I think it's very fresh. This part of the journey is very fresh, and I definitely I recognize that I'm trying to lean into my superpowers, like you described. And what I know to be true is she likes to talk. Like she's constantly like this mom and coach and wife and whatever the title is, with all the hats I'm wearing, does not stop talking. And I just think one of the days that I was going through like this spiritual awakening, if you will, it's a long, it's not a short blip in time. It's ongoing, okay? And I got into like numerology, and I was looking up the meaning of one of the numbers that kind of came out to my attention. It was like a loud. I couldn't tell you what the number is, but I've always just looked it up. I was like spiritual meaning of this, and I looked into it, and it said go into an environment where your special skills are appreciated. And the opposite of appreciate is depreciate, right? So like I'm thinking about it like, okay, what are my special skills? Like what are my gifts, my talents, if you will. And I had to introspect, like I'm self-assessing now. I'm like, okay, what's something that I do all the time that I'm going to do regardless, you know? And there's one thing that's been depreciated on this journey for me is like Nicole, when she starts talking, it's like, okay, you know what? I appreciate what you're trying to say, but we had enough. Can you stop? Can
It's
you
just, it's
cut?
yeah.
Take five, take 24 hours, go over there, close the door,
Mm,
you know, mute. And so I recognize like, oh, you know what? I don't think I'm in the right environment, because if it really was this appreciation, it would be like my clients. Like they said, you know, I want to be around you, Nicole. I'm trying to be here. And guess what? My clients are invested. They see so much the value of what I have to say that they're willing to invest both their time, their energy, their money, whatever it is, that energetic resource that they're willing to give so that they can get what Nicole has to say in return. And so I started to pay attention to the pattern there. And I was like, okay, so what are the environments that I can be in where I can speak? And so I made a list, and I was like, if I was a public speaker, you know, like what I'd be in, like maybe an auditorium, or
mm,
like I can do seminars. And I'm already on the coaching calls with my intuition clients, and that's on Zoom. And so I just recognized, hey, there's an entire space designed specifically for this, and I'm not in it. What's going on? So I just like, okay, let me just like dabble. Let me just experiment. Let me get curious. And my coach, right? I told you about my business coach, Helen Marie Fox. She
yeah.
mentioned something to me that really spoke loudly. She said, "You just got to figure out your zone of genius," you know, and that was heavy for me when she said my zone of genius. I was like,
It's like Nicole
okay,
speechless. It's like what?
right. I was like, yeah, because there's something that I'm really amazingly good at that I haven't even become aware of yet, and I'm just trying a bunch of different things until I can figure out what that is.
Right, right.
Um, but talking has been the most consistent thing throughout. Whether I'm choosing to educate, inspire, or just share an opinion, you know, there's always like a different um, mode that's set, or like a different intention that's coming from it. My choice of expression has always been some type of animation, like movement. It's definitely facial expression, because you can just watch the recording of this video. I'm sure I'm doing some things, but the talking, it's always there. And so I just thought I got to find a way to translate that, and only share it with the people who want to receive it, you know, and instead of bombarding everybody who's like had their fill, you know. So yeah, podcasts that came to be. I got in touch with the Quiet Council, you know, just in the space of trying to get more reach on the social media platform that I was on, which was Instagram. I was trying to be more active there, and I shared that desire, and he's all about it. He supported me, and here we are, right? Because he reached out to you, and I was just like, oh, thank you. I can I have vision. I can see what this could be, and it gets me so excited. So yeah, thanks for asking. I'm super stoked about what it might mean for me to be my own podcast host. And just like Sean, you're setting such a beautiful example. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. I will say this, like for me, like the past 3 years, this has just been such a fun experience because I knew before. Again, I'm the same person. I like to talk. I like to conversate and like talk with people. Like I'm one of those extroverts. Like you're not like if well, it depends. Like if I want to be quiet, I can be quiet. But if I'll talk and like let's say I'm in a room and like someone has to break the ice, like I'll gladly I will smash that ice in that like pieces. So like I have no problem. But I thought to myself, like, okay, like, there was at a point I didn't know what I wanted to do. Cause, like, I feel like if anyone's heard the story of me, like, I went from I wanted to be a chef when I was young to I want to be a professional athlete. Then all of a sudden, like, hey, maybe Harvard Law School, is that what the deal's looking like? And I'm just like, nah, I'm just kind of like throwing stuff at the wall, hoping it sticks. And then I thought to myself, okay, I'm taking business. I'm like, maybe this is what I could do, like business, open my own business. And I never realized that under the surface, when everyone notices, like, Sean, you're a fantastic talker. And I'm just like, I guess. And like, I was just kind of brushing off, like, I guess, like, all right, whatever. And it was went to university. I had the chance to do more like talking, more leadership, and everything, and then translate it to my podcast. And then I think it was like probably episode 10. I told myself like, oh my god, everyone was right. I'm actually pretty good of a talker. It's like it's one of those like things like you brush away, And then when it comes back to hit you, it smacks you right in the face, just like you didn't listen back then. You need to listen now. So then I just kind of rock with it. Like obviously I still have aspirations to open a business. That's something I want to do, and I want it to be like community based, like have people in the community resonate what I'm doing and like bring back to the community. But I think just what I have right here with this podcast, like I'm trying to do more, connect with people. I'm trying to do in person events, but obviously I know that's a struggle itself because it's like I need to like find space. I have to find the time. I feel like for me, I have the time, I have a structure. It's always for me space and money. That's it. It's just like, yo, if there are like free spots in the city, then I would have been having in person events. You would have seen me here, over there, just like all over the place. But I definitely feel like your passion, and I will say this: at points you're gonna have fun, but there's also gonna be points you're gonna be frustrated. I know there was times like when I was like doing editing and all that stuff, even recording, like for all the podcasters listening, you know how it feels like in the middle of recording, someone's audio starts glitching or the camera stops working. You try to keep it together, but inside you are like punching air and just like, come on, man. Like you could like you're telling yourself like I could have took like this amount of minutes, this amount of hours to do this, but now with the glitches, that's an extra 10 minutes or that's an extra 30 minutes. Just like it's so much. Like there's gonna be times you're gonna be so angry, but trust me, Nicole, once you get into it, you're gonna enjoy it a lot for sure.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for that heads up because I was not thinking like that, and I'm sure, that's part of the learning curve. So yeah, that's I appreciate you giving me the heads up.
Yeah, for sure, for sure, for sure. I do want to talk about something else because this was something that I kind of thought about, and I'm like, you know what, this is perfect for like to talk to Nicole with because I feel like a lot of people resonate with this. I know everyone thinks about, and I'm gonna use this in quotations, like your best workout. And it's like, what does that mean? Like, and I feel like a lot of people assume that, oh, does your best workout kind of symbolize based on, you know what? I was able to do all my reps, all my sets completely. Okay, that's good. Does your best workout in terms of like, I was able to do all of this in amount of hours? Or some people say, was my best workout? It's like, oh, I'm seeing progress. Like, like I'm starting to like get some tone, some shape, and like my muscles and everything. And it just, I feel like everyone has different definitions on what their best workout is. But I also have a theory too. And it's kind of like what I referred to at the beginning. When it comes to finding your best workout, a lot of times people try to take parts of other people and how they work out. And they think like, oh, that's the best workout. But you're telling yourself like that's the best workout, that's your best workout, but truly it's not your best workout. I hope what I'm saying is not
Yeah.
confusing in the way, but like,
No, 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 no. I hear you. I hear you. I think that you're right. People do with sometimes unintentionally will fashion their concept of success after what they've witnessed before them because that's where they're sourcing their inspiration and that's it's good. It's good to have something to shoot for, but I definitely believe that I'm the person I'm trying to improve. I'm the person I'm trying to best. When I go to the next tier of my journey, I'm always looking back at what Nikki from last year did. You know what I mean? And just be like, oh shoot, she's leveling up. Watch out.
mm,
And then planning, Nikki of the future. So I want to say my best workout was it used to be gauged off what my biggest lift was, like my heaviest lift. As a smaller framed
right,
person, I usually sit at like 125, 130 pounds. My mom would always guess me under that. She'd always be like, "What are you like 100 pounds soaking wet?" And I'm
yeah,
like, "Oh, don't insult me. I'm out here working."
yeah,
But like I say, I used to try to have these really heavy lifts. And interestingly enough, I never competed as a power lifter for somebody who tried to lift a certain amount of weight, but I always gave myself rank for that in the gym. And so my best workout, I want to say my best exercises were my squat, my deadlift, and my pull up. And when it came to the pull up, I could always pull, I want to say at least another 65 pounds on top of what I was weighing myself as body weight.
mm,
And then you just use a belt and you attach the plates to your body
right,
with a chain. And then with the deadlift, I always want, I think 300 was the heaviest I got, which I recognize is a big number. So I did lift 300, and I think I have a video somewhere in the Instagram archives because I was big on posting
If you
things as
if
soon as they
you said
happen.
that right now, I will legit put that in the video. I'll let everyone know. Like, listen, if y'all think it's like a fraud or everything, that there's evidence, there's clips that Nicole is about that life with.
Yes, that's for me like it.
Oh, yeah. I literally was getting ready for a competition one time and I was 125 pounds. So I was like, for the competitions, the physique ones, you got to be really lean and it's not your normal body weight. So I was like visibly muscular and I did a course right before is my PICP level 2 that qualifies you for insurance coverage to be a personal trainer and coach. And so as a strength coach, I like to constantly get my learning in and make sure that I'm re-upping on my courses. So I did this course. I'm about to step on stage like maybe the next week, and I deadlifted 270 pounds,
Mm.
and it was on that day that I was like, I can for sure beat this. Like I can max this for sure. So I was like, this is I'm not even at my strongest because I'm about to step on stage. So like imagine, I was just like that got me so fired up. I was like, imagine. So I think my best lift would be like the deadlift. And the squat, I think I did maybe 225 or 245. I can't remember. I have again, I'll probably send you over the it's old though. It's that retro pixelated version. So just like watch
Is this?
out because this was back before the kids,
Oh
right?
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, since then my conditioning is a little bit different, and I want to get back to that for sure. But yeah, those are my best workouts. I usually gauge it off of like
Yeah.
how heavy it is, and that just got me hyped. Like
Mm.
it's the only thing that would light me up. Like you just I did that? No. And
Right. Right.
yeah, just like you said with the podcast, like you're an amazing speaker, and it just I think took me watching the videos and just kind of reliving it after the fact and being like, okay, I guess that's like celebration worthy, if I'm gonna call it that.
Mm.
Like, okay, it just it's I think maybe when we're raised to be coming from a place of humility, it's hard to recognize the greatness. It takes a little bit longer, and so I think that's what it is. Just like looking back at it, I could be like, okay, yeah, I see what people were talking about, and I like it too. But when I look at it, I'm inspired by me when I look at me as if I'm someone else. I think that's where that dissociation comes from,
Right.
where people get inspired by other people. I get inspired by me when I look at myself outside of it, as opposed to like when I'm actually doing it. So yeah.
No, I feel you, and like I just love how you just gave out like full out numbers. Like, yeah, this is how much like I lift and everything. This is like my PR and everything. Feel like
Yeah.
I think like I feel for me, I was so confused when I went to the gym. Like I kid you not, because I just never really understood my body that much. I was just going around thinking I gotta lift the heaviest thing, like just be like super sore. Like, yeah, that's it. It's just not like that meant absolutely nothing. I remember one time I think I did like leg press, like 315 pounds, and like that was like my crowning achievement. I was
Yeah.
like telling everyone like, yeah, bro, like yo, challenge me right now, test me. And it's just like now I look back and I'm like, I sounded so stupid because like I feel like what was I doing? Like you know those individuals like you go in the gym and like you're just watching someone like, holy smokes, this person's lifting that much. Like, I bet I can beat that. Like, hold on, let me go up there. And you don't even know the mechanics, how everything works, and you're just kind of doing it. You're literally just going in the gym to just lingerie, just kind of like, yeah, I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna try that. Like for me, it was when like the pandemic closed that I really got to understand my body. Just like, I'm just gonna like focus on certain parts, my movements, like eccentric, concentric, just focus on that. And like I feel like anytime I would go to the gym, I probably work more on heavy lifting, but I would be more aware, like, okay, I'm not just going on there because, like, hey, shoot. And sometimes if you go to the gym with your friends, like, and listen, like, I want to like say this sentence, and I don't want to sound like I'm contradiction, but I just want to get my point across. Having your friends can be a good motivator, and like, do not get me wrong, and that's what I hope. But sometimes if there's that friend that's like, oh, I bet you can't lift that. Oh, I bet you can't do this much reps, and just like what are you doing? Like, are you actually trying to help me out, or are you just kind of like testing me? And like I was at times like that because one thing that I'm not very known for is like bench press. Like, I feel like for me, if I'm working chest, I've never done bench press. Like, that's just not my thing. So when my friends do it, they're like, "All right, Sean, it's your turn." Just like, I'm good. And it's not because like, I want to prove something. It's just like, I just don't think this is me. It's like, come on, man. Like, why are you so afraid? It's just like, it's not afraid. It's just I don't want to do it. And like, I feel like again, the best workouts. There's so much elements that come to play. So I love how at first it's like for you, it's like, I want to like lift the heaviest. It's not because it's for show or just be like, I want to challenge someone because like, you get that again, that good vibe from it, that positive energy. Like for me, it's
Hmm.
more of like just knowing I did a set and a rep and I feel good mentally. Now, obviously, like physically, the
Hmm.
physically to me is a bonus. That's a bonus. Like, okay, if everything starts to come, you start to get like that tone and that shape. That's cool. But if you feel good up here, then it's like that's all you need. That's all you need truly.
Yeah, no, 1,000%, because that's gonna determine how you choose to move, right? How you use your body, I like to call it my avatar, like how you decide to wield the power that is within your avatar really does stem from the mind. They say mind over matter, and that's literally what it is. So yeah, I think you got your priorities completely in order. Like they're perfectly in check, and I mean, so long as you can act on those thought processes and like keep everything in alignment, you're good to go. I think people are misaligned when they put uh, they shift their priorities to material, and then they forget about what's happening in the mental state. It throws things off. So yeah, you got it in order, and for sure that bonus is gonna come because everything is symbolic. So long as you have your mind right, it's gonna show on the body 100%. Like you're gonna see it, and people are gonna know, hey man, he must be pretty serious. Like he must got his priorities. It looks like
Yeah.
it looks like he got it together, and it's just gonna show. So yeah, you can't hide it when your mind's right. You can't hide it.
Absolutely, for sure, for sure. But I do just have one last question. Yeah,
Yeah.
I definitely can tell that when exercising, some people have like music that they probably work out to. So like I want to know like what is the genre? I guess what are some of the tracks that just like that get you going? That like what like I'm in the zone. I feel like I'm blowing your mind around because she says like, oh
You
shoot.
are. I'm gonna cry. My eyes are gonna well up right now. This must be one of the bonus questions that, like the universe was like, people need to know Okay, I'm nervous. I don't
Don't
get
be,
nervous.
don't
This feels
be.
eerie. I'm like, okay, so what really hypes me up, I'm like slightly embarrassed, is the beat. It's the beat. The beat gets me. Like I gotta feel like those like ancestral like bass beats in my in my being. Like my body starts moving, and I'm like, okay. And like even the movement in my exercise, it feels almost rhythmic to me. Like I feel like I get into flow state, and I'm not even in the gym, and there's not even a dumbbell in my hand. I'm just like, and people are like, what is she doing? So my concept of a really good soundtrack would this is I've been listening to a lot of reggae and like the vulgar variety, and I'm happy to listen to it with. I'm not gonna say any artists, okay? So don't make me do it. But okay, maybe I'll say one. Actually, one of my clients put me on Shensia recently, and
Nice.
I think she has some like newer music out. But like for me, it's the bass. It's like feeling. If you ever go to like a house party or like a club and the speakers are on, am I dating myself by describing it like this? Oh gosh. So like the speakers, you're standing next to the speakers and you hear that, and it's like, and like your skin starts to tingle. That I need to feel that while I'm in my workout. If I can't feel the bass of the music in my body, then it's hard for me to get into it. And so that's just the tone. So this is like I totally you just came from the side that I wasn't expecting. I definitely listen to hardcore like vulgar reggae because of the beat, and so anything that mimics that, if it's not vulgar reggae and there's no lyrics or it's like instrumental or whatever, if it can mimic that ancestral bass beat, and I can feel it changing the rate of my heartbeat, that right there, that's fire. I'll
Mm.
I'll do more than weight train. I think that's where the strength is coming from secretly. Like, don't tell nobody, but
Yeah.
yeah,
It's funny because like I feel like for me like I have like so much genres. Like I have like a workout playlist and like I have so much genres, but I feel like for me it's like the song, it's the lyrics. Like I feel like the lyrics gotta
hmm
definitely speak. Like if it speaks in the vibe, like oh yeah, like we're about to get it in, then cool. Like for hip hop, I feel like that very like grindy, like gritty hip hop or rap, whether it's old school, new school, that kind of like speaks on like you gotta put in the work, you gotta do this and that. Like that's for me. And then I have like R&B that's a little bit more student. I think that's for like for cool downs, like for stretching. It's just like you get like that
yeah,
great vibe. And then obviously you got like those hype tracks and everything. Like if you saw my workout playlist, it's all over the place. You're seeing like pop stars, reggae stars, soca stars, hip hop artists, R&B artists. It's just all over the place, but I absolutely love it. So like I'm very
yeah,
keen too. Like I don't just like pick a song. Like I'll literally tell myself like, all right, like what songs like if I can work out too, cool. Because there's gonna be tracks that are like,
yeah.
okay, if I hear it, I just like I don't want to always like, okay, skip, because
No, yeah,
like,
no.
because
That's a vibe kill. That's a straight vibe
right,
kill,
and like
instant. Yeah, we
you're
don't
telling
want
yourself
that.
like, okay, clearly I made a mistake picking this song, but I feel like so far like every song that like plays next is just like. Shoot, like yeah, let's go. And like sometimes you're bobbing your head, just like you're singing, like you're doing your bicep curls, and like you're just singing the lyrics as well. Like you feel it,
Yep.
yeah.
It's to the beat. Like I'm trying to do the slow eccentric, but really it's to the beat. So like if you can't hear the music, you're not gonna know. But yeah, anything that's like you said, the lyrics. I like conscious stuff, but it's not really the main part of the resistance training for me. But like even a Timbaland beat hits for me. Like I'm 80s baby, so anything old school. Like I said my age.
Oh yeah.
Anything old school. And just like that kind of vibe. I used to really love anything Missy Elliott. She used to have the videos out where everybody was dancing and like
Right.
I could just feel it, you know. And so like that to me hit as well. Like you're describing the warm up and the different stages of the workout, like the dynamic movement and stuff. So yeah, I can appreciate it being all over the place for sure. But yeah, I'm like you. It needs to like every time I hit next song, it needs to be a fire. Like I can't be stopping mid track or mid exercise
Right.
because the track's off. Like that, it's not
Yeah,
okay. It's not okay.
for sure.
It's gonna affect my mental fitness there.
Right. No, absolutely, for sure. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I have for like in terms of the questions. Nicole, thank you so much for being on the safe room.
Yes,
Thank you.
yes, the safe room, Sean. You made it happen, and I'm just like I'm ecstatic because I can't believe that this is part of my dream coming true. So thank you, Sean, for supporting me and making my dreams come true. I gotta cry, like all the
Oh my
emotions.
gosh.
Yeah, seriously, like this is it's a big deal. Like I know the future me is gonna look back and be like, remember that time, you know? And and yeah, I'm so grateful. So thank you for making this possible, and I thank you for doing what you love. Thank you for doing what sets your soul on fire, because literally you're changing lives, and I'm so grateful. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
absolutely, for sure. Where can anyone find you on social media?
Yes, good question. I am currently on Instagram as Nicole Hosang Fitness, NicoleHosang Fitness. And I recently started a YouTube channel called Holistic Nikki, and that's Nikki, Holistic Nikki on YouTube. And then on Facebook, I'm on Nikki Hosang, Nikki. This Hosang, it has a hyphen in it, so it's HO hyphen SANG. But yeah, the trend is the energy, and I got my display pickup, so you'll notice me. And yeah, just come through, check it out, and shoot me a DM. I'm always ready to reply and communicate in the DMs, and keep it positive. So yeah, thanks for asking. I appreciate
Absolutely.
that.
And where can people find intuition? Because like I definitely gotta let some people know about intuition. Like, listen, if you were intrigued in terms of like us talking about intuition, where can people find that?
That's a good question. I currently have a private Facebook group for intuition, and I haven't opened it up to the public yet, but I'm feeling like there needs to be an updated version, like an Intuition 2.0, and that might be on the come up. So look out for it. Right now, in the meantime, if you're interested in Intuition, you're still gonna have to hit me up on my Instagram or my Facebook or YouTube and ask me about it personally. And then, obviously when I blow up and I got all the staff members and all the departments, heads and everything, it's going to be a different situation. But right now you can hit me up personally on all those platforms. It's not a bot. I'm doing all the back end stuff. So you're gonna reach me directly and then you can just ask about Intuition and I'm happy to talk to you about it or set up a phone call and we could sort it out. And it'd be my personal cell. Like there's one-on-one here. So like you're getting that intimate experience. Intuition. Yeah, I'm gonna set up a public Facebook group now, Sean, since you asked about it. I gotta make it public so people can reach it just by doing a
There
quick
you
search.
go.
But yeah, thank you. It's happening. Give me 24 hours. It's on.
All right, perfect, perfect. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you, Nicole, again. Thank you guys for listening. You want to follow me? Make sure you check me on Instagram at the Safe Room Official. Check out my website, thesaferoompodcast.com. I'm currently working on a couple things, guys. I have to keep it on the low because like how can I say it's a lot of process. I'm connecting with people and I want to make sure like everything's in check. But let's just say I have like some big plans in store. And also to keep in mind, guys, next week's episode is gonna be a big one. I had an amazing person that I interviewed just last week, and she's gonna be a guest. I'm probably gonna make some posts. It's a big deal. Honestly, reaching out to this person was amazing, cool. Also, go check out my song, the official soundtrack for the podcast as well. Go check it out, First Lady by me. You can find it on Apple Music, Spotify, any streaming platform. Take a listen, tell me what you think. Honestly, I'm trying to do something with that. Maybe I should like go on TikTok and do like a challenge or something. Maybe I don't know.
Definitely. I'm looking for it.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. But thank you guys for listening. I'm about to sign off.